And the first one I'm going to get into is going to be Facebook. This whole thing with Cambridge Analytica and all the cell phone data and call data and SMS data and the whole big mess, which I've read a few articles on it, but here's the bottom line. It's electronic. It leaves an electronic trail every time you do something. Why does anyone expect any privacy on a platform like Facebook? The whole point of it, privacy really on an electronic platform. I don't get that expectation. It's about, okay, maybe you might think you want to just keep it to your friends, but really, if you have any understanding of how electronic stuff works, information is created and stored. This is a huge database of connections between people. People are putting their opinions out there. You can't have any expectation of privacy on a platform like Facebook. I mean, anything that they do privacy oriented is going to be like Peyton Gold Leaf on a turd. I mean, I hate to put it that way, but it really is. There's just no way you can expect privacy on a platform like Facebook. If you put your stuff out there, it's out there. And these people are in business. How do you think they afford huge server farms? It's not by giving you a free social media platform and hosting unlimited amounts of your data for free. Really? You think that? No. You can't expect. I myself took years to go about installing Messenger. Years. And I just knew. I mean, come on. They were already listening to the microphone on the regular Facebook app, and then they're wanting you to put another app on there. Why? So they can get more information about you. Obviously. I mean, it's so obvious. They used to have the messaging platform before you could private message each other right in the original Facebook app. Why did they need another app? Why? You tell me. I can't believe people expected privacy out of that. And I went ahead and installed the thing for about a year and a half, maybe or so, because you know what? Everybody and their aunt, uncle, mother, and brother were messaging me on Facebook Messenger. And Facebook took away the ability to respond out of the other app. I had to wait until I was at a desktop. They finally browbeat me into doing it because everybody else was doing it. Well, I'm not too worried. I mean, I'm not trying to hide or anything, but for crying out loud, you know, everybody that's using this stuff is dragging everybody else along with them. I miss the days when you could actually use email and people had their own blogs and you just went to your friends' blogs and stuff like that. And maybe it wasn't quite so much information overload. But I don't see Facebook imploding. I don't know how many users they're losing. I mean, if anything, people should be uninstalling Messenger like crazy. But yeah, you know, you can try going over to MeWe.com, but it's not the same. I mean, there's a reason why a lot of people like Facebook. It's got a lot of good features to it, but privacy isn't one of them. I wouldn't expect that. You know, no matter what they say, it just doesn't make sense to me that you're going to expect privacy on a digital platform like that, electronic platform. It's not about privacy. It's about spouting. People, we do it because we want to spout. We want to show off. You know, we want to voice our opinion. well, don't be so surprised when somebody, is interested in your opinion for purposes other than why you put it out there. I don't. Anyway, that's my take on the whole thing. Do I think it's right that they're selling all that stuff off? Well, they got to pay the bill somehow too. So I don't know. Maybe we should get a cut. Maybe the whole world's turned into the Kardashians. Who knows? It's the biggest reality show on earth is the Earth, huh? Imagine. Anyway, so that's that. Now, the second subject I want to get into tonight is the X-Files. Love the show. Have loved the X-Files for years. I even did this cool drawing for Christmas here. Let's pop this up here. Yeah. Little Merry Xmas there. But I want to say that I'm watching the new X-Files seasons, and as much as I love them and everything, it just doesn't have the same something. Yeah. The X-Files had an air of mystery back then. It had a little bit of cheeseball here and there and a little humor to it, but it had a certain panache, a certain flair, a certain wow, woo, factor to it that really doesn't come across in the modern era with the more current version of the X-Files. You know what? With the internet, first of all, nobody's got the attention span. But who respects authority anymore? And paper files, those are passé as all passé. Who can spend hours and hours and hours researching something? Well, maybe the current FBI, but the current FBI has its own issues with credibility these days. The entire government has long had issues with credibility in the eyes of most people. I mean, there isn't civil service. Who believes in that anymore? It's sad. We should be able to believe in civil service. Civil service used to be a virtue. Now everybody looks at somebody in government like they're on the take. Not really. I mean, most people that are in government probably are still trying to be good civil servants and make a paycheck and a living, but who doesn't need that? But the X-Files, the premise just doesn't work as well in the modern era when conspiracy theories are everywhere all around you, and it was based on a giant conspiracy theory. The whole show was. And as much as I love the show, watching it in the modern era, it's not just about the actors being older and way more in a different stage of life than they were then. It's also about all the changes in society that have happened since the 90s and the early 2000s. And 9/11, all the changes in society that happened after that. What about kids that are never going to have grown up before 9/11 when airlines were actually something decent, and you could actually enjoy a flight? Try that now. And just the technology is so different. The internet's so pervasive, invasive, and a geek nowadays would have to be wearing a suit or wearing at least polos and khakis and stuff. Okay, buyers did wear a suit, but back then the lone gunmen were like cool hippies, and all the new tech was wow. Nowadays everybody's like, new tech, yeah, another piece of new tech, yeah, big deal. Whoop. And it's everywhere. People expect new tech every week. No surprise because they have it every week. So, a lot of the cool factor that was there then because of the rarity of the things that happened in the X-Files, well, they're not rare anymore. So the current show, yeah, we want the rest of the story, but by the same token, they don't have the oomph factor, the wow factor that they used to have back then. And it's sad. It's sad in a way. Now, I think we've really lost something in the ability to focus on one thing for long periods of time, and that's got to do with people being so used to things jumping around on the internet and everything, and like TV commercials every 5 minutes instead of every 20 like they used to be when I was a kid. I mean, you would get maybe 2 or 3 commercials and then a good solid 15 minutes at least of show, maybe 20 before you had another batch of commercials when I was a kid. And now it's like every 7 minutes you've got commercials on television. And who even watches regular television anymore? I mean, some people do maybe, but most people I know don't. They watch this show and they binge watch it, and they try to fast forward past the commercials any way they can. And then they're in video games where it's like, or online, something's popping out at you all the time. God, online, distractions everywhere. I mean, it's like all these damn ads that they insert online and the way they do it, it's like blowing up your attention span. Life, everything in life with technology and information coming at you from all sides constantly. Little notifications on your phone. Oh, I'm reading this book. My phone's blinking over here in the corner of my eye, And the X-Files were built on brief periods of action after long, dedicated, focused periods of research. They didn't show a lot of the long periods of research around on the camera, but it was there in the background. You knew it was happening, and it makes the premise of that show way more difficult to pull off in the modern era. I mean, if they managed to recover the level that they were able to achieve with that show back in the day, yeah, I think they had a little way. I mean, yeah, they had some cheese back then, but still, this is not the same. Anyway, I don't know. I think I'm going to call that it for tonight. A quick update on school. I'm in the last block of training before I start getting into practice testing for my A+, which is the A+ and PC Pro. Test out PC Pro. Those are the first 2 certs that I get in this class, and they're concurrent. The training for the 2 runs simultaneously, same time. So I'm going to be, testing out for both around the same time. I'm hoping to get both of those certs next month. And then I start moving into the more specific Microsoft certifications, server, and I'm, going to become a Microsoft certified systems administrator by training, and with 21 and a half years of long distance telecommunications and tons of big data center experience on top of it, along with IT and telecom, should be pretty good. Hopefully my age won't be held against me too much. Anyway, we do live in a capitalist society, but X-Files, yeah, I gotta mourn them a little bit. The mystique that they were able to have back in the day. And the cheese ball too. They were corny sometimes, but it was fun. Yeah. But I'm still watching. And I actually use their theme song for my ringtone. All right. Happy Vulcan Fingers to you from the Agent of 42. And one of these days I'll have to get the audio thing going again, or at least get the theme song in the background somehow. I'll work on that too. Night.